Oh, thanks for saying that.
Brady unfortunately could not join us today, so it's going to be the three of us with all of you. And before we get into it, I believe Andy has something he'd like to say.
Yeah, something very important I'd like to share with everyone, and that is an apology. Um, we talked a lot this week about what this stream should be about, and the old blood guys, they came to me and they said, the old blood guys, they came to me and they said, wait, what is happening? The old blood guys, they came to me and they said, wait, what is happening? The old blood guys, they came to me and they said, wait, what is happening? The old blood guys, they came to me and they said, wait, what is happening? The old blood guys, they came to me and they said,
I'm hearing myself so much.
The old blood guys, they
It's
came to me
coming
and
back
said,
to me so much.
The old blood guys, they came to me and said,
Is everything okay now?
Oh, what in the world?
everything okay?
Oh, what?
No,
It's still going.
Is it okay now? Can I do the thing now?
No.
what happened?
Wait, it's still happening.
Everything is fine.
Wait, Cohen,
Can I
is
do
your
the thing?
is your
Whoa.
audio on? I think that might be what it is. If you could mute the YouTube video, I feel like maybe. Wait, Cohen. Is that it? Was that it?
All right. I stopped that.
Okay. Okay.
That was
The apology. So, folks, listen.
Listen, we all love the old we all love the split meld, right? We're trying as a community to figure out what this dang thing does. And I got served with lots of litigious papers from Seth and Brady this week. They wanted me to take some action and be accountable to my words. I've caused a lot of problems online this week. People don't know what the split meld is, and that's my fault. And I just like to really apologize to everyone. And I do have this statement I'd like to read. Brady and Seth really made me do this. Here's split meld. Here's what the split meld is. Okay. Split meld is a passive, non-summing, non-destructive way to manage parallel, dual mono, and stereo signal paths. Split meld is an audio routing solution. Split meld consists of two pairs of a TRS or stereo jack and two TS mono jacks. The tip and ring of each TRS jack is routed to a corresponding mono jack. Use split meld to route your parallel signal path in a myriad of ways, especially useful with devices that have TRS input and dual mono input. Now, folks, guess what this thing cannot do? I'm here to tell you it cannot turn your Chase Bliss pedals to stereo. And for that, I am sorry. I apologize to the Old Blood LLC. And I hope you guys can all forgive me. Thank you so much. This has been my time. Thank you.
Thank
So,
you, Andy.
You're welcome.
I think as a representative of the company, I'm allowed to accept apologies on their behalf, and today I would like to do that.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, now we can move on.
Yeah, because we wanted to talk about split meld this week because I guess there was some talk of split meld last week. Perhaps some things were said that should not have been said.
Well, and we don't have to go over it,
And I don't know. It seems like people are really confused about what split meld is, and it's. I think in general, it's helpful to remember that it's easier than you think. Because that's it. It's two TS jacks that route to a TRS. So you've got the tip goes to the tip, and the other tip goes to the ring, and then just a copy paste of that on the other side. So there's no summing that happens. There's no splitting. It does say split meld, but that's just talking about making two TS jacks appear on one TRS jack. You're not actually crossing the signals at any point throughout split meld.
Great.
And so that's really it. It's just a routing solution for a lot of mostly like just concerns where you're like, I have a couple TS cables that I need to turn into a TRS, and I could go figure out a breakout cable or solder something weird or do that, or I could just have the split meld and be able to integrate it into a setup like a tabletop or a pedal board.
Yeah. So maybe we could spend the rest of the stream talking about what split meld can't do, just to be safe.
Yeah, I think that's a good call. Could I get a little less of my voice in my headphones?
Look,
It's
so
freaking me out
listen, if
just
you put
slightly.
these two together, folks, nothing will happen. Okay? Let's just make that clear. That's all.
Yeah.
So I think
I would say
Yeah.
something, about messages that I've been getting about it too, and I think a lot of people are confused about TRS.
Yeah.
Obviously, people that deal with pedalboard setups, understand it and stuff. I messaged him on Instagram earlier, and he was like, "What? Why would I need stereo? I don't. How do I even do stereo? So I have that audience, and maybe we can talk about TRS,
yeah,
like
yeah,
what
I
it
think
what
that'd
it's
be great.
cable.
Yeah. I think it's probably one of those situations where it maybe the confusion starts from us just thinking like, yeah, stereo, mono, TS, TRS, these are all just super clear, things that everybody knows. When in fact, maybe people don't. So just to get to the basics of it, like a TS cable has two connections on it: the tip and the sleeve. That's your T and your S. The sleeve is usually going to be connected to ground. So that's, throughout your system, you're kind of getting all your grounds together by, let's start at the guitar, for example. Tip and sleeve. Sleeve is connected to ground. That gets plugged into a pedal. The sleeve there is connected to ground, gets plugged into another pedal. Sleeve there is connected to ground. You're keeping this consistent ground throughout. And then the tip is where the actual signal shows up. So your actual guitar signal that you hear is going to go through the tip and get routed through your pedals or whatever you're using. Whereas a TRS cable has three connections on it. So it still has the tip and the sleeve is usually still going to be connected to ground. But now tip and ring can both carry signals. And so that opens up stereo possibilities. So you may have, for example, you could imagine a string of pedals that were all stereo pedals, and every one of them had TRS ins and outs. So you would just start with a signal on tip and a signal on ring and a ground on the sleeve, and you would just, using TRS cables, connect each one of the pedals in line, and you'd maintain a split stereo path with two signals running in parallel. But in a lot of cases, it doesn't work quite like that. So for example, I'm using a Strymon Deco here. The input can be mono or stereo, using a little jumper on the inside, and it's just one jack, and that jack can be TS or TRS. TS is going to give you mono, TRS is going to give you stereo, and then the output is actually split on the pedal. So you have the one input that can be TRS or TS, and then you have two outputs that are labeled left and right. So that's a case where split meld can be handy, and I'm doing this here. I have stereo signals routing into the TRS input of the Deco, and then I'm splitting out into two separate TS cables that are now carrying my left and right, and I have them running through a dark star in a procession, so they are doing some individual routing before they get joined again, but those two chains then hit the split meld, and it hits a TRS cable so that I can get into the Strymon Iridium, because it's got, again, that same setup where it's a left and right mono TS out, but the input can be TRS or TS. And that's the kind of stuff where the split meld really helps you, is just getting those signals essentially turned into the right type of jack to do what you're trying to do.
Mm-hmm. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is the alternative, right? It's like,
Yeah, this is the alternative. This is what I've been using instead of the split meld for this. Like, This is what I bought specifically to use with the Strymon pedal. So this is what I use with the Flint. So this is tip and ring, but this other side is TRS, which you can see. I don't know how well you can see, but you can see the two black rings, right? That means it's TRS.
Yeah,
on this.
they're separating, so you can see that the tip is that very top part, the ring is the next section, and then the
Yeah.
sleeve is the third section, the largest part. And those little black rings are showing where the connection is broken across those three. If it were just one
Right.
metal piece, it would all be one connection.
And then this
So-
is labeled with ring. I don't know if you can see that. It's like, oh crap. It's hard to, but the things are labeled ring and tip right there. The
Yeah.
breakouts, and those are just TS female things. So
Yeah, and you can see on split meld that a similar visual representation where at the TRS jack you see there's a little red dot and a little blue dot, and those are essentially representing your tip and your ring. And you can see that blue goes one way, pink goes the other way, and that's where they end. So you've got your tip over here and your ring over here, and they join it at tip and ring on the TRS jack.
I was also just going to say that, you know, with these like cables and the kind that you have, Andy, there that looks like it's from Radio Shack, you know,
mhm.
I can't find like high quality ones anywhere. Like unless you have like a company custom making
Yeah.
cables. If you go hunt online, it's all like Hosa, like, you know, $10 cables that wiggle the wrong way. And I'm
Yeah.
sure there's high.
I mean, you could probably make your own fairly easily if you like soldering.
Yeah, split meld just like makes essentially a sturdier solution compared to those things, because all of your wiring is happening on a board hardwired to
Right.
jacks inside a case, so you can.
And Silverio Salazar did donate $10, and he said, okay, so just to be clear, using a split meld with a blooper would be the equivalent of having two bloopers, right? Which I think legally I cannot agree with this statement, given the papers I was served by Old Blood LLC this week. That's not something I can say. You're free to say it, as you are not under an agreement with Old Blood. I cannot, though.
Yeah, if we could just have Cohen go ahead and say it.
He's not under the NDA that I am.
What am I saying?
That split meld will turn one blooper into two bloopers.
Into two, yeah.
Quote that person commenting, not me.
And that person did give $10, which lends some credibility to their
Yeah.
claim.
I didn't give anything, just my time.
I am.
I never monitor the chat. Usually Brady's looking at it, so now I'm like trying to remember.
I got
people
you.
are
I got you.
Talking to us over here.
The Silverio also says, what happens when you feed split meld into itself?
Oh my God, black hole.
Yeah, I think so.
They interact with the crystals inside.
And again, that's something I can't speak to either anymore. The crystals inside. Cohen, you can speak to it, but once again, legally, I cannot.
Yeah, I mean the crystals are actually meth.
And for $29.99 or whatever it is, that's crazy.
It's a steal at that point.
Yeah.
I guess I
Like
should mention, just now that we've established like that's the TRS thing. That's the reason split meld exists is well, really just because Seth was looking for a solution, and he was like, I see that there's cables and things that you can finagle to work here, but why isn't there just a pedal shaped thing, a pedal shaped object? Because that's another thing is like I see a lot of questions of like, yeah, but what does this pedal do? And it really stretches the definition of like, what do you mean pedal? I guess
Yeah.
there's no like stepping on it. There's nothing to change about it except how you plug it in. So I'll just start calling it a
So how's the
object.
tone of this bad boy then? What's the tone like?
I'll tell you what, this is the truest bypass. This is the
Is it
most
the-
honest bypass.
Is
you'll
it the
ever
most
encounter.
transparent tone you've ever heard?
But so it's what was I going to talk about? Oh, I was going to talk about the difference between a split meld and something like an Avy Switcher or other routing solutions that are not purely. I guess there's a lot of terminology crossover that probably also creates confusion. So you can talk about combining two TS signals into one TRS jack, which is what's happening in split meld. But if you generalize it a little bit more and said, you're combining two mono signals into stereo, it's still true of if we're talking about two mono jacks and a stereo jack, and they both now exist in parallel on the stereo jack. But often when you start talking about combining or splitting with mono and stereo things, people start to think about summing or taking a mono signal and creating two copies of it. and things that split meld can't actually do. So one example is an Avy Switcher, which on this chain, I'm basically just using it to split my guitar into two different copies of the same mono signal. So I'm starting with a TS jack. I'll scoot this into frame. There we go.
That's a hot shot there, folks. In the chat, let's get a 1 in chat if you love the close up of the pedals. Let's see. Don't we love that, folks? Don't we love seeing the pedals?
Just beautiful.
Beautiful.
I like that split meld is like a very helpful routing solution for cleaning up your overall situation, but I just really like quickly hot plugged a whole bunch of cables here, so it's an overall mess. But imagine how much messier it would be if there were additional breakout cables in the middle.
Yeah.
So,
Look at all the ones in chat. We've got Jesse giving a 1.5, and I don't appreciate that. So
people liking the close up of your apology face, which I like.
Is that really what they want? Is that what the people want?
The sample American flag animation.
We'll just leave it here for the rest of the stream, I guess.
But yeah, so basically using this ABY switcher to create 2 copies of the guitar signal. So taking the TS connection from the guitar and splitting that tip over to 2 separate tips. So that's an ABY switcher basically can take one input and send it one direction or another or both at the same time. And so I'm using it in that way where I'm sending it to 2 different places. I'm plugging into the Y part, routing to both the A and the B, and that's where my signal splits and all the magic can start to happen. So I'm taking my guitar and copying it and running one side through the Benson preamp, the other side through our alpha haunt, and then those hit the split meld to get joined at a TRS jack, which goes to the Strymon Deco, which we talked about earlier, then suddenly splits back out to 2 TS connections. So we're still maintaining the integrity of the split.
Would a slightly different way to say it, would it be like, so you have a mono haunt signal, you have a mono preamp signal, and that's not dual mono, right? Coming in like that? Like your left is one sound, your right is a different sound. That's all it is. You're just like packaging them together so they can flow through the same cable. That's all.
Exactly. Yeah. You're never combining them, so there's no destructive interference happening or
right.
Yeah, they are allowed to run freely without messing with each other. So,
well, yeah, and John Slater in chat says, "Wait, so my iridium is broken without this split meld," which is like no joke. You can't do stereo in to the iridium unless you've got some sort of TRS solution. So like this cable I showed earlier could solve that problem. You plug this into the input of iridium, and now you've got stereo in via these things. But the split meld does the exact same thing for you. Allows the same thing with the unit and one TRS cable, and then your 2 TS cables, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Lots of pedals have random TRS ins, but they'll have mono outs. And
yeah.
Several stereo pedals, towards the end of your chain, you might find yourself having to do a lot of splitting with a lot of weird cables. And I do think first thing I thought about the split meld that I thought was really cool is that it has like 2 sides, right? So I could have dual purpose. I could chain together something that's one TRS in, dual mono out, going into a dual mono in pedal, and then at the end of my chain I can also use the split meld for a completely different purpose and go stereo out to my iridium. So it solves 2 problems.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I had that exact situation with some GFI system pedals, actually.
Yeah, there's a bunch of. I'm trying to think. The Maris pedals come in TRS stereo. Some of the smaller Strymon pedals come in TRS stereo, but out dual mono. If I'm saying that right.
Yeah, I think dual mono is fair there. It's like it's a stereo signal in the sense of there's a left and a right, but it's split over 2 jacks, two mono jacks, dual.
Yeah.
Mono. I think that's totally fair. But.
Yeah. Yeah, we can't get mad at those companies for doing those TRS ins. We don't want a million jacks on the back of our pedals, folks. All right.
Yeah. It's
don't
real estate
give those companies any shit about that. That's a good design choice, and they needed to do that. All right, everyone, just chill. All right,
If
I
you
know you're all
split it, they
mad in
probably-
chat. Stop it.
They'd skip the expression jack, and then you wouldn't be able to have fun with expression. And it would just be
Yeah,
It's a
see?
whole,
It's a whole
it's
thing.
it's all pedal real estate, really.
Yeah. Oh, and Alexander does TRS out. I wonder. I'm sure they do TRS in. Matthew's a freaking genius. I'm sure his pedals do a million other things that he hasn't even told people they do.
Actually, in
Hidden underwear.
is the Sugar Cube, as far as I know, is the only TRS out stereo of the Neo series. I was demoing it recently, and in the manual it was like first of its kind. I thought a long time the Space Race was TRS out. After I had one, so I never got to actually test it. And then looking back, I found out it's not.
Oh, are they TRS in though, or no?
I don't believe so. I mean, Matthew's gonna like come and haunt my dreams. If I...
He will destroy us for getting it wrong. Yeah.
What read your manuals? Like, why are you talking to us?
Yeah, a lot of these things are just solved by reading the manuals across the board. For
Yeah.
your pedal, for split meld.
Your health.
For your health. For your tone. Cheers. Great.
Well, yeah, I think that's the basic summary of. It's hard to talk about split meld in a super detailed, clear way because you end up just listing things it can do and things it can't do, but they all boil down to the very simple functionality of it. So
Yeah, and
I
someone
can
in
talk about
chat-
what I'm doing here, but go ahead.
Yeah, so someone in chat was talking about how you could use this for MIDI in on Blooper because they're doing MIDI over TRS. So like this guy says he can and does do it, but like that information is being sent over the same cable, so you could use this unit for that stuff too.
Yeah, because I think they're and I'm gonna get sued by Joel for this, I'm sure, but I'm
Joel is
There's
very
a-
litigious, yeah.
because if I remember correctly, for Blooper, or I guess I'm just thinking of Chase Bliss pedals in general. The MIDI is essentially like there's ways of doing MIDI where it like receives and sends back signals, but I think the Chase Bliss stuff is essentially just receiving. So it's that
Yeah.
situation where again the sleeve is ground, and then it's either the tip or the ring is where it's receiving messages. But other because TRS or because MIDI over TRS isn't standardized, at least
Right.
at least pre MIDI 2.0, certain companies will communicate certain companies will want to receive information over the tip and others over the ring. And so yeah, you could use
Yep.
this if you have a pedal that's just trying to receive on either tip or ring and you're sending out via the opposite of the tip or ring, you can basically plug your TRS into the one of the TRS connections on the split meld and then use either the tip or the ring connection to get those
Well, and
messages sent.
since we brought up Matthew, from Disaster Area and Alexander, like, so I've got one of these Q Connects from Disaster Area,
Oh yeah.
which, so it has 6 of these TRS outs, but it solves the problem of different manufacturers. There's like a crazy menu system where you can swap tip or ring and sleeve, or tip and sleeve, whichever ones, for these outputs, depending on what pedal you have connected. So like with this pedal, I could come in 5-pin MIDI, do 6 TRS outs. The pedal internally determines ring or sleeve or whichever
Nice.
because of how I set it, and then sends out the same signal.
Leave it to Matt.
So yeah,
Yeah, that's very smart. That seems handy.
that's Matthew. The Disaster Area stuff is wild. It's pretty cool.
But Michael Wren says manuals are really going to interfere with my real estate. And I just, not if you print out all of your manuals
Whoa, look at that.
and then you just
Yeah, there you go. Just print them out.
So just put them in a binder. Just continue adding to it. And
Mm-hmm.
Night Sky manual is 36 pages long.
Oh, wow.
It really takes up like a half a centimeter of space. What are you talking about, Michael?
Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, the idea of having like a shelf full of manuals for pedals, it does sound better than like doing a PDF search on the internet.
Yeah, the amount of times that I'm just looking at something on my phone, like just trying to find the manual and then getting to the right page and simultaneously like trying to do a deep dive to figure out like, okay, wait, how
Right.
do I?
You ever need to like find the milliamp draw of like 17 different pedals when you're
Yeah.
you're just like, I forgot, you know.
A one control switcher, except it lets you scroll through manuals. That's pretty good.
App right there. Whoever's in the chat gets to it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, the Critter and Guitari Organelle also has TRS outs. Okay, I didn't know that.
Okay.
That would be cool.
Ah,
Little stereo
I think
synth
that's
action.
Quite a bit.
Critter and Guitar. I just got something new from them. They're
Is that the Izzy? I want it.
easy. Yeah.
I want it.
Will you tell us about that a little bit?
Yeah.
I would love to if I knew anything about it. No, I'm actually this weekend. Like, I just got a new studio desk. I got a new like green screen setup, different types of lights, and I have a projector. I'm really hoping to like set this up back here and try some projection stuff. But the IZ is essentially like a video projector that is an animation creator that responds to beat and sound, right? So you audio. You actually just plug your pedal board in or your synths or whatever, and it converts that information and it's going to make different animations. And they've had like older pedals like this that were really more basic, and this is like the new and improved. It does 1,000.
Yeah. And it has a HDMI out, so you could hook it right up to like a projector or a HDMI switcher. Yeah.
So you can just plug it up to your computer,
Mm-hmm.
have it, screen record, and then just record everything. And you could like layer it in your videos.
Mm-hmm. That's super cool. Yeah, I really want one of those. Those things look awesome.
I was on a waiting list for about a year.
Oh wow. I didn't realize they were out actually. The IZs. I know they've been on pre-order for a while.
It was hard to get. Yeah.
Are they like available right now?
Right. Well, this was so I was on the mailer list, and so they emailed me about 10 days ago. So you know what happens in 10 days. Stuff flies.
Says I can buy now. Check out. Yeah, it looks like they might be available right now. Okay.
Sorry.
$395, $400.
Well,
But it looks legit.
And when are you going to come across something like that?
Yeah. Anyway, video stuff. That's boring. We're talking about audio, folks. We're talking about the split. We're talking about TRS routing, the most exciting part of making music, routing your T and your S. Where do you want your T and your S to go, folks? You can put it wherever you want. Yeah. Everyone in chat, right? Where you want your T and your S to go. Everyone... I don't know.
Nobody talking about rings. Just only TNS.
Just TNS. Ring. Forget the ring, man.
I don't even think about two connections. Split Meld is too complicated for me. It's got rings. 2 rings. Too much.
No, tip to tip. I knew it was coming.
Dan, let's walk through your signal flow real quick.
Yeah, sure thing. Yeah, I guess I kind of started on that and then meandered away from it, much like the signal chain itself. Yeah, I think I talked about how this is the sound from it.
Is that going to the stream in stereo?
It is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, everybody.
So we aren't hearing it in stereo, but I can assume it sounds amazing.
Yeah, I've got it panned in OBS.
Sounds
nice
up here, because I'm just basically taking the guitar. So again, that tip and sleeve connection, sending it to the Avy Switcher to create 2 copies of it. One copy is going to the Benson preamp. The other copy is going to the Old Blood Noise Alpha Hunt. So those are now split in parallel. We'll call it stereo, dual mono, 2 separated signals not crossing over. Those are then going into one of the pairs of TS jacks on the split meld to have one be sent to the tip and the other be sent to the ring of a TRS cable. That TRS cable then goes into the input of the Strymon Deco. So again, keeping it separated by using that TRS on the input of the stereo pedal. From there, the deco creates it has the left on one TS connection and the right on another TS connection. So we, again, maintaining integrity throughout. One goes to the dark star for one flavor of reverb. The other goes to the procession for a different flavor of reverb. Then those two TS signals join again at split meld on the other side, and get joined on the TRS jack, or our final jack on split meld, and that is going out to the Strymon Iridium. So that's receiving a stereo signal and keeping it left and right separated, so you can hear different drives, stereo field created by the modulation of the deco, and then different reverbs on your left and right. So yeah, again, headphones would probably be very helpful for kind of hearing those differences, because I'm hearing it kind of that sense of moving across space just because of different qualities of sound.
Well, yeah, you essentially have two completely separate chains, and like
Exactly.
different. You could think about it like a different amp and preamp, different reverb on each side. Like it's the left and right. It's not like on my pedal board. It's like you've got this whole mono chain, and then it splits the stereo at the very end, which is fine. But this is just like you've got a completely parallel chain the whole way.
Yeah, I felt like
So like that Dark Star reverb is only either on the whichever one, the Alpha Hunt or the Benson, you know, whichever way you have it set up.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And that's really cool.
The only commonality between them is the instrument that starts it, and I would normally set it up that same way, where I would start with some mono pedals and then split out stereo eventually. Partially because once you split stereo, it just just finding the right connections and getting
Problems
getting it all
multiply.
separate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Every problem is multiplied by 2. So that's normally what I would do, but I just thought for this stream, it's like what's the simplest way to use something like an ABY that is actually making 2 copies of a signal, or you can also plug it in the other way around and combine 2 signals into one.
Right.
Actually, like 2 TS connections that then the 2 tips are passively combined or actively combined, depending on what ABY you're using. Ours is a passive one. So combined to one tip instead of maintained at separate tip and ring like the split meld would do. But basically just using that, splitting right at the very start, and then maintaining 2 parallel left and right signals through the split meld.
Alex Rodriguez wants to know which reverb is left and which is right.
You could toggle the ABY to figure that out.
Yeah, I just honestly just plugged stuff in, so I don't actually know which pair is.
Yeah, I'm not
left.
sure either.
So let's see. We've got on the A channel. That sounds like
Name that
Dark
pedal.
Star, I think.
We could do a cool bit on the stream where
So that's Benson.
you guys have to identify your own pedals.
Yeah, so we got Benson and Dark Star on the right, and then should be Alpha Han and Procession over on the left.
Yeah. Michael Wren's talking about adding a signal blender in here and creating trees of tone. Yeah. Trees of
that is-
tone.
I like thinking of Signal Blender as like a super ABY of sorts. It just gives a bunch of like routing solutions, including active ones. But
Yeah, Signal Blender could do all the functionality of the ABY plus more, right?
yeah,
Except for the toggling. You can't, whatever. You kind of could
oh yeah, in terms of switching, yeah, maybe you would just have to like hit
hit 2 buttons.
two buttons simultaneously.
Yeah.
Every time there's a question about Signal Blender, I'm like, my initial response is like a varying confidence level of like, yeah, you can definitely do that, or I think maybe probably you can do that. Like, no, you can't. But then if it's one of the first 2, I invariably have to think for a while. Like even if it's you can definitely do that, I have to go, okay, so you would just hold on. So if you so the plugging in so if you
Mm-hmm. So if we step back,
yeah.
Silverio says,
Why?
serious question. You need the ABY to do this, right? If you plug a TS from a guitar into the TRS port of the split meld, one of the channels will just be silent, correct?
Yes, yeah. So if I
Yes.
plugged a a TS into a TRS, what's going to happen there is the ring and the sleeve become connected. Because Andy, you were holding up that TRS to the camera earlier when we were showing how like there's the tip at the top, and then the little ring section below that, and then the sleeve occupies the rest of the plug. If you take a jack that's expecting that style of connection, so it's looking for tip in one spot, ring in the next spot, and then sleeve in the third one, but you plug a TS jack in, the sleeve occupies all the space of both the sleeve and the ring, so you're going to ground out that ring connection. And so you definitely won't get signal on ring, and you could even just cause various issues by things that aren't expecting to see ground there. They're expecting to see a signal. Getting confused. That with like expression pedal stuff, you run into a lot of TRS and TS confusion because that's not a standardized thing. We use TRS, Line 6 use TS. We do ours on the tip, others do theirs on the ring. And you can like fully ground out pedals by plugging in the wrong TRS orientation or TS instead of TRS. So yes, this setup requires the ABY to do the actual splitting of one TS signal into two to then turn into a TRS signal.
Yeah. Signal Blender could do that too, though, for real.
Yes, Signal Blender could definitely do that.
Or if you were coming out of a stereo instrument, like for instance,
like a synth even.
Like a Rickenbacker with Rico sound has a TRS jack, so you could come straight out of a Rickenbacker that has Rico sound, or an Ovation, like the Ovation Preacher. That's where it was all born for me, is I have an Ovation Preacher. It has that TRS stereo jack out, and I needed a way to split it apart. So,
without having to hang the Hosa cable from your guitar.
Yeah, which is actually what was from the 1981 instruction manual for the Ovation Preacher. It was like, get a cable that looks like this and dangle it from your guitar. It's like, that doesn't look very rock and roll.
Someone's asking what Rickenbacker has TRS.
The ones that have the Rico sound thing on the bottom. So you have two jacks. Like the one that's right behind Dan right now, I believe has Rico sound.
I think that's...
Oh, wow, look at that.
That's
Looky
awesome.
there. Rico sound.
Yeah, move.
So I'm not sure which of these is the jack, but yeah, one of these, I guess, is a TRS connection.
And it's going to put the neck pickup on one, tipper sleeve, and then the bridge on the other.
Tipper ring, just to clarify.
Sorry, tipper ring.
I just got concerned suddenly. I've been probably saying some wrong things too. But.
So did anybody ever make like a quadraphonic guitar? Is that not a thing?
I've never heard of it.
I haven't either. Yeah.
No, it wasn't like quadraphonic, the stereo system that came out like in the early 80s that just flopped immediately and you had to like place 4 speakers.
I haven't heard of that, but that sounds awesome.
Yeah, I'm imagining just four separated pickups and like a MIDI connector, like one of those 5-pin to get like all 4 signals in your ground.
That sounds like what was the battle when like Blu-rays were coming out and there was that other format at the same time that was also high quality. What is it?
HD DVD.
Yeah, HD. Yeah, there was Blu-ray versus HD DVD. This feels like the same thing.
Oh
yeah. It's like you got 4.1 versus 5.1 and 5.1 won out, and so no, we don't talk about 4.1 anymore.
Bad for all the people that collected like all those HD DVDs that cost $29.99, and then
you can't do anything. I was about to say Laserdisc, Silverio. Man, some of us are from the Laserdisc days, man, where you got a DVD the size of a freaking vinyl record
that you actually flipped over halfway through.
Mm-hmm. We had those in school, man. They would freaking roll the TV in with the Laserdisc player. Yeah, we learned some biology.
I knew one kid whose family was balling enough to have a Laserdisc player at home. It totally was.
I didn't know anyone with a Laserdisc at their house, man. Yeah, that's crazy. Anyway, age check. We all just kind of told how old we are a little bit.
I was like, I don't remember Laserdisc either, but that might be because I'm just a few years behind. So.
How old are you, Dan?
33. I just turned 33 like a month ago. So I hit
Oh,
pause.
I'm 34, so it's like
Okay, so I'm only one behind.
yeah. So Cohen's asking in chat about Creed, and so this is a bit that Kylan's been doing in the chat, where he tries to provoke me by talking about new metal and ranking stuff in clearly very wrong ways, in ways that will really upset me.
Whoa. New metal. Have you seen System of a Down's like new music video that just came out?
Oh, I've not seen the video. Their new songs are great though.
Oh well, I mean the video really puts the song in like a way better context. See, that feels a lot more intense. Just like
All right,
watching it. You should.
I love. I was gonna
Yeah,
say
I'm
I'm an unabashed new metal guy, so like
I'm talking about it like the other day with Joel or something. So
yeah. Creed is so superior to Korn. Kylan, shut up! Someone throw something at him over there for me.
He just is quietly poking the bear.
I know.
Like I'm
He loves
listening
it.
to him gently giggle.
Love
Bra-
that
yeah,
works,
Brady's-
too. I imagine
Brady's
the troll is
busy.
just like Creed is better than X. Like any.
Yeah, it is, and I'm just like, "Brr." Although I listened to Creed, I had the albums in my CD player during lunchtime in high school. I listened to
Were we
them.
not all human at that same time?
Human Clay, I think we
wasn't.
were all Human Clay.
I never was.
I remember in my elementary school we did like orchestra Creed songs. We it wasn't.
Did you
even
do
pitched
higher?
loud, Like it was.
Yes.
Oh, it was just random. Our band teacher just had like weird taste in music, and it was, like we did an Eiffel 65 song, and it wasn't. Even,
You did Blue and Higher? Oh, is there another Eiffel 65 song that's not Blue?
PlayStation, and it's the best song.
Oh shit.
Sony PlayStation.
And on in
Some
chat
Eiffel
says,
65 deep cuts here.
is this guy in chat just says Andy just needs to accept the truth with arms wide open. I'm blocking that guy. That guy's blocked from the stream.
He's in his own prison now.
Oh, no.
That's it. That was my last. I could. Name
That's so
3
good.
songs we went through.
Yeah, I mean that's all anyone knows, yeah.
Cohen,
Anyway.
let's talk about what you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move on from TRS and TS and get into our special guest.
The Spiral Caster. What's the deal with that, huh?
Yeah.
I do request that you get close to your microphone.
That's a good request. All right, am I good? Am I here?
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. I don't know where the name came from. That was going to be like a band that I was going to start, and then I never started it. And so that became that. Yeah. I demo pedals. It's like what I do every morning when I wake up. I'm like coming into my office and like throwing these headphones on and trying to come up with with shit if I can. This has been like my second year. I'm going on actually this is like my anniversary right now. 2 years.
Oh heck yeah.
Congratulations.
The Alpha Haunt was actually my first or my second.
That's awesome.
Silverio wants to know where his Spiral Caster t-shirt is.
Yeah, I literally just went to this shop in town yesterday and gave them the design and everything. They're drawing it up. So, we got some sample rate issues.
Do we have sample rate issues? What's sounding weird?
weird
Is,
crack?
is someone sounding like a robot?
No, he said it's on the guitar.
Okay, I turned it off then. Sorry.
Oh, it was really nice though.
I know. But if it's a problem, then it's a problem, you know.
I can make some guitar sounds.
The peaks are fuzzy. Okay.
Yeah. No, t-shirts are coming. I just sent that in, so I'll be like announcing something about that shortly. Yeah, but if you don't know my channel, I demo guitar pedals and I try to like write songs, you know. So I'm always dealing with like one pedal at a time, and I'm trying to get into the world, of like what Andy does a little bit, where I'm going to start making some videos with my board, which is just as big, but maybe not quite as like well assembled. I'm always like changing stuff.
Are you ready for people to tell you how stupid you are for doing that on YouTube?
I hope so, because I don't get a lot of, I'm in a Discord with like all the other demo people, and it's like every day everybody's just complaining about some random comment a YouTuber made
Yeah.
about what you said wrong. That's why I don't talk in my videos. It's like number one.
Yeah, because you'll get roasted for like what I could show you privately my blocked words list on YouTube, and it's like feet, arm, hair, like it's like all these like guys. I'm not here to talk about this. It's so yeah. Being on YouTube, there's another set of skills you gotta have in terms of dealing with the things that are on YouTube.
Thing out of this, I just get messages a lot, and I think whoever you are, if you're demoing pedals or you're getting into this, and people perceive that like work with you and you're doing this, that you must know everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just get so many questions, about setup, what are you doing? Should I buy this pedal? Blah blah blah.
Yeah. Or like, hey, my pedal board is really noisy. How do I fix it? And you're like, I don't know, man.
I had a guy tell me I was a hero because I just explained how to like come out stereo from the back of his stereo pedal and do his iridium today. Like I'm sure he's a cool dude, but yeah, I guess some of those things are not easy for some people to figure out.
What I'm sure for you, I mean, this is the same for me as a YouTuber or whatever. It's like, yeah, you'll get those questions and you'll start to think maybe I should just be creating content for people who know like nothing about this, which people do that and that's good, but like I don't enjoy that at all. And so you have to at some point, like people will ask you for free content all the time, and eventually you have to be like, no, that's not what I do. That's not what I like to do.
Oh man, I've learned the power of saying no big time this
Yeah.
year. And I know demo people that don't have that ability, and they get caught in some trap.
Yep. It's
There's
tough.
For both of us, how do you get over, and I actually really like this question because I love the topic of imposter syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get over imposter syndrome when it comes to demos?
Comes to film. Oh man.
I'll let you go first, Andy.
Me? Okay. I mean, I feel like for Aaron, you're probably similar to me. I know Aaron a little bit, but like I just, it literally all has to come from a place of like, even doing this stream and like streaming earlier today was just like, I'm doing it because I want to do it. Like anytime it starts to feel like a job, or like I'm doing this even for my YouTube subscribers or for this person who commented asking for this thing, like that always feels bad. And I will always feel imposter syndrome in those situations, where someone was like, can you please do this for me? I'll be like, well, no, because I can't do that. But if it's me saying, I'm just doing this because I want to do it, then I don't feel like an imposter. But the irony is that if you get on YouTube or Instagram or TikTok or wherever, very quickly people will start telling you what to do. And if you have one thing that works, people will tell you to keep doing that thing forever, even though you don't want to. And so you kind of just have to get used to disappointing people, I think, in a little bit. In a little bit. I don't know. Probably, that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Probably disappointing the algorithm to a degree too. Like,
Yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't even come directly from people, but just that appeasement of like, people liked this, so if I keep on this track, like,
yeah,
maybe I can maintain it.
Yeah,
but that won't work long term either. But just yeah.
Well, it's fun. This term imposter syndrome comes up like a lot for some reason when in the Discord that I'm in, and just amongst like creatives and people that are, in this industry and trying to come to the front and center and say like, hey, I know what's up. My guitar sounds good. Like I know how to make sounds. So I mean, I think for me, at least in my shoes, what I have to do is throw any expectations out the window. And whenever I'm making music, and this is my format, so this wouldn't apply to everybody. A lot of people demo and they like put the pedal down, they put the camera over, and they're like, all right, I'm going to strum and I'm going to turn the knob and it does this. I mean, that's hard to, screw up. You just play some guitar. And so in that context, I don't know that I would worry, but this guy's saying, and he's saying that he's trying to get into demoing, and it's tough for him because he doesn't think that he's good enough. And it's funny, I get questions about stuff like that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jay is at, he says maybe a dumb question, but what is imposter syndrome in regards to pedal demos? Which I would just say simply, it's like, it's being like, I don't have anything to say, or like, you know, I'm not good enough to show what this pedal is, or, you know, this isn't useful to anybody. Like, why would anyone want to watch me mess with this? When
That's
when really,
like, I don't actually belong here. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think imposter syndrome at the core is you, there's something that you're good at and it comes easily to you, kind of, but the fact that it comes easily to you makes you think it's not worth it to anybody else.
Yeah.
And that I think that's what it is, because I've dealt a lot with thinking the thing that came easily to me was worthless for everybody. But it turns out the thing that comes easily to me is actually the thing that people want me to do and that I enjoy doing. And I don't have to make it complicated.
And that's a blessing, you know, in that
Yeah.
regard. Very lucky that way. I can only hope that my answer to that guy is, I can only hope the shit that I make is, is well regarded. But that's also, I get where he's coming from. That's why I don't talk.
Yeah.
You know, is I don't feel like I want to be on a quiz show. You know, people are asking me everything about the pedal. I don't have time to like learn every single, in facet of every single pedal and things like that. So
that's what Just Nick is for. That's where you go to Just Nick's channel. He talks for 30 minutes. He'll go through all the knobs, every single setting. You'll know about all the capacitors and whatever in there. That's all you need. Just Nick and Spiralcaster. That's all you need, folks.
It seems like, just to, I guess, hammer on a point that you guys both kind of made too, is that it feels like, Andy, you specifically talked about you're just making videos that you want to make. You're not doing what other people like. And like Cohen, you talked about how you reference like the way that you do it, or your particular approach to a pedal demo. And I think it's, each of you has something unique in what you do, and it's the thing that is your voice. And so it's tough to be an imposter if you're just doing the thing you want to do on camera. And so you can run into that imposter syndrome, of course, because people are like, oh, you're the best. They're throwing questions at you and suggestions and all this, and they're putting you on some sort of pedestal. Which
totally.
That's something you feel you can't live up to, because all you're trying to do is just the thing that you want to do. But I think that can maybe be a useful thing if you're trying to get, coming from a non-demo person, so I can't speak from experience, but it seems like if you're trying to crack into it, not looking to be like another demo person out there, but to figure out like why is it that you want to do it, and your voice within that, and then just give that a shot and see how it goes.
I would say to anybody too that has that problem, find what you think is lacking in the demo world, like, and do that. I mean, that's exactly what I did. I mean, I hope it's successful. It's getting more successful, but I saw and I found this hole where nobody was really making full songs. Nobody was writing things and a little bit more common 2 years ago. Crazy how much this has evolved in 2 years, but there was nobody, or very few people that had drums, bass, applied it to multiple instruments. And I also noticed videos were too long. So I wanted to make short videos, and I just kind of set out a few like principles of things that I wanted to see in demos. And I wanted no talking, I wanted short and digestible, and I wanted to hear what it sounded like in context. And which
again is the polar opposite of a Just Nick video, which, nothing against Just Nick. It's literally all the things that you just said, though. It's a long, non-performance technical demo. It's great. They're great.
And if you were trying to sound like Just Nick, everybody would be like, well, I'm just going to go to Just Nick instead, because I don't need to watch 2 half-hour explanation every single knob turning videos. I would like to experience 2 different things from 2 voices.
Just Nick videos are about tone, and he's like, tone is a lie. And there's another video. There's 2 videos. One's a lie and one is truth. And he's like, you probably think this is bad tone. And it's just a totally like unplugged electric guitar. And then he makes this like funk track, and he just records his electric guitar totally unplugged. And it's like thin and cutting and totally rhythmically choppy and fits perfectly in. He's like, I just made good tone.
Hell yeah.
That's amazing.
Also, if you want good tone, you do have to get a mood pedal, I think.
That is the only way to get good tone.
Yeah.
That a mood and a split meld, I think.
Yeah.
those are the two.
Yeah. But I was gonna say, Dan, I'm sure the imposter syndrome thing is the same in terms of designing pedals. I mean, you're
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
right.
Yeah, I would say if someone were to ask me a similar question of like, yeah, if I were looking to design pedals, how would I get over imposter syndrome? It would be the same answer of like the things that I'm proud of and excited about and that other people respond to are basically the things that I stumble on. Like
Yeah.
the process of Dweller being like, let's make a phaser pedal. Can I make a good phaser pedal? Well, this is a pretty good phaser pedal, but is it any better or different than all the other ones? And then continuing to messing around with the memory, and then suddenly landing on a sound that felt different. And suddenly that was the only thing I wanted to pursue. It was like, this is the sound of Dweller.
Well, and I think you said previously, you're like, I don't like phaser, but I'm gonna make a phaser, which is kind of a funny way to start
Yeah,
a
I feel
project,
like
right?
I was not a big phaser person, and I feel like it was kind of. I remember Brady pushing. I can't remember if Seth was pushing it, but it was this idea of like, we should have a phaser pedal as Old Blood. It's not something we have. Let's explore it. It's like, okay, well, I don't really know phaser. I mean, like, I have a phaser, kind of fun, but
Yeah.
but then we ended up at Dweller, and
And I'm sure at some point we were like, what's little old Dan gonna do with a phaser that's gonna matter in the world, you know?
especially
And now look
starting
at us.
out, I had, I think, Flatlight and Excess under my belt at the time, but it was just those two, and so I was still very much in like that. I guess I don't sense it as much as imposter syndrome. It's more just like that. It's almost an impending sense of failure. It's like by the time the pedal is out, I feel proud of it, but the whole process of making it is just like, I don't think I can do this. But there's not like viewers saying like, we're watching you do this, you're amazing.
Keep
Just
going,
me
Dan. Great job.
Alone at the apartment being like, well, I'm not an imposter, but I don't think I'm anything. But it's the same thing. It's the same feeling. It's the same source of that, I think.
Nothing will make you feel like an imposter like going to NAMM and just surrounded by like, Freddie McBill, everywhere.
Yeah.
You turn.
Yeah, and then there's people like you and me who are like, I just like to play a C chord for like 90 seconds and then we'll move on, you know?
Nothing will make you feel small like NAMM, because you'll go and you'll be
Yeah.
like, all of these people are in the same industry as me, and we're just a drop in the ocean. Like, no, It's
Yeah.
strange.
Though, it's the perspective, and it's important. Perspective is important.
It's nice to curate a little pond of just a few of us chatting and focus on our live stream. I don't know who all's here with us, but certainly smaller than NAMM and a little more familial, I think.
Someone had for me, I think a second ago. I hope they're still around. I was just going to get back to it. And I wonder if this person finds me on Reddit, which Brady found me on Reddit one time on trading. Y'all ever trade pedals on Reddit?
I've not. No.
Oh yeah.
There's this amazing sub called Let's Trade Pedals, aptly named. And everyone there is just like a cool person. I mean, people trade, come and go, and like nobody really screws each other over.
Nice.
And I mean, you occasionally see it, but then like they get called out and hunted down, and people will even like donate you money if you got screwed over and lost.
Oh, damn.
So
That's cool.
That's awesome.
The question was, did you get anything new and exciting from your Reddit trades that you plan? They must be like following me on there and seeing. I just traded like 4 guitars for pedals. I've got a lot of guitars, so I've got. I wish I could turn my laptop around and show you my desk, but I've just got like a mount of the pedals over here. So yeah, I want to try the Fabricat. I think that's going to be like.
Oh, damn! You got it.
And I've had one too, and I never got to actually like play it. I trade so much it like went through me like water, but got it back.
Nice. Sheer Revival says that's how they found you. Was on that subreddit.
That's awesome. You guys need to get involved with that. It's like if you ever have some gear, like I'll have a guitar, and instead of selling it on Reverb and paying all the fees and sending it to like somebody that I don't know that's going to open it and go like, why is there a ding?
Right. Can I return this?
Yeah, exactly. You know, you'll find like really friendly guys and ladies that will just send you like, you know, guitars or pedals, whatever. You know? Thank you, Sheer Revival.
Mm-hmm.
Sheer Revival, that's our friend Zach we made candles with last winter. Yeah, out in New Jersey.
Whoa. Guys, you know who just entered the chat? Forever Broke Demos.
Forever broke. Also, Brady's in the chat. Brady
Yeah.
must have arrived.
Yep, Brady's over there sitting at his desk now.
Yeah, Brady.
Brady traded and got us a rooms.
I checked
It just came in today.
Nice.
Yep. Oh, the Echo Machine too.
Nice.
Yeah.
I almost left the rooms on the table to play with, and then I thought I should use pedals that I already understand for today's setup.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this guy just got this deluxe Telecaster that I built, sort of. Okay. What's up, man?
Nice.
Nice.
Glad that
Small world.
Yeah.
Something that I was
Cohen,
gonna-
I was gonna say, are you interested in streaming at all? Since you're talking about this like visual stuff, like the IZ and whatever.
So, probably not. Here's where my imposter syndrome comes in.
Okay.
I am a terrible improvising artist. Like I am
Okay.
the kind of person that has to like sit over his guitar and like go no,
Mhm.
yeah, and then just record that. And everybody asks me about my process, and that would be it. That'd be it. That's when I get better. When I watch enough like Andy Elfling demos.
I mean, the thing I try to keep saying about it is like it's not. I just don't think about it much at all. You just kind of do it and don't think. I don't know. That's what I like about it. It's just like a in the moment. I don't know. It just is what it is, kind of thing. You know.
I would be very curious to hear your improvisation now, just to know whether it's you saying no to yourself a lot, like letting the editor get in the way, or if it is a skill that needs to be developed, or if you should just hop on the stream and make it happen.
Just hop on, man.
Not saying improvise right now, just a curiosity of the ways
Oh.
imposter syndrome affects us.
In the future, if that was, I used to be in a group before COVID started where I was in an all improvisational group, and it was just like experimental, I guess, noise music. We would go to like galleries. We're called night gallery. We'd go to art galleries and we would play while people walk around and exhibit.
That's
And
cool.
I would bring this like 95,000 EHX looper, and I would preload it with waves of like textures, like wind, leaves crackling, just bizarre noises and stuff. And I would just hit play and let that run. And me and two other dudes that are just awesome improvisation artists would create textural sounds and stuff. So
Yeah, that sounds really fun to me.
Seth and I used to do that from time to time, and I miss it quite a bit.
Do it on a stream, Dan.
we're
Yeah, I
invited.
guess we should.
That'd be fun.
Old Blood Noise. Wait, hold on a sec. Old Blood Noise streams. The Old Blood noise streams. Like you're making Old Blood Noise is making noise. Come on, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yep.
If you're asking me out, Dan, then yes, I do. By the way,
Anyway.
no, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go.
Well, this Forever Broke demos is in the chat, and I wanted to like. Have you guys ever seen Forever Broke's pedal demos?
I'm not familiar.
I haven't.
Oh my god, you guys!
I hope he gets some money soon.
Who does?
Forever Broke. Sounds like he doesn't have any money.
Man, he's in France, and he puts together. You guys need to look him up after this. These like crazy 7-minute edited footage. I think he just rips footage from like whatever films like all over the place, and stuff is just super bombastic, very visceral. I mean, like,
Oh no, this looks good. I'm looking through his Instagram right now.
oh, it's nuts! It's nuts, and you'll stack pedals, and you just feel like you're being attacked both like spiritually and visually when you're watching his demos, and by the end of it, you come out and there's always like philosophy and weird rambling and poetry that goes on during the videos too. It's
Ooh, that sounds
Yeah.
pretty good to me.
Check this out.
make films out of demos, and it's really good.
Oh yeah, Andrew W says noise endeavors with old blood. That's pretty good.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Don't cross the streams. Never.
Yeah.
It's streaming.
Yeah.
Oh, you're welcome, Forever Bro.
Get Brady on the stream for like a second. Like what is he just sitting there hiding or what?
Yeah, Brady, you want to come say hi?
At least say hi. Does he got a green smoothie to drink today?
The stream's about to catch up to him. He's listening in headphones in the other room.
Okay.
He was sitting near the talkback earlier, but we were going deep on imposter syndrome, so I think he
Yeah.
didn't want to interrupt.
He probably had imposter syndrome. He probably thought he couldn't talk.
Now me, I don't belong here.
No way they'd want to hear what I have to say about imposter syndrome.
Who am I, an authority on speech?
Yeah. So what are some new albums that came out today? We got Julian Baker. We've got Architects. What else do we have? What else came out today?
I know King Gizzard is just about to drop.
King Gizzard puts out an album every Friday, all right? We can't talk about King Gizzard.
No, I think it was like September. September was their last one. Yeah,
King
there's a new
Gizzard
one.
has put out 13 albums so far in 2021, and there's no sign of them stopping. Brady!
Sorry, Dan.
Hey, Brady!
Hey, I checked out King Gizzard, right?
Mm-hmm.
After the Discord suggested it, I made it about 20 seconds in, and I turned
See,
it off.
So they release a new album every few days, so you can check it out, and they're all
It's a low
wildly
quality.
different.
Oh yeah, they're like a different band every record. They, you know,
Yeah.
one
You know who else does that? This band Ween.
Ween does. Yeah.
Yeah, Ween's terrible.
Ween's are-
You got
Hey,
Brady.
Cohen, this is our first time to meet. I'm going straight in. Sorry, dude. You may not. My cadence may not be quite there. Understanding. I don't want to be offensive. Hey, man.
What's up, dude?
Sorry I'm late.
No.
That's all right.
Yeah, Ween. They used to make me listen to that at Keeley. Real bad.
I'm with Brady on this one.
So Michael Wren in chat says he also hates Ween, and he thought he was alone. So this is a good stream for him.
No, it's really good. They're really good musicians. They can write any type of song. They're just, man, I just don't want to listen to them ever.
That sounds like how I would describe Dream Theater.
Sure. Yeah. There's.
I
You
I
like
would-
Dream Theater?
no, I would think Dream Theater is like a little more desirable.
I have a music.
You kind of know what you're gonna get, you know. With
Yeah,
Ween,
but that
it's
doesn't
like,
mean it's going to be fun to listen to.
Ween. Yeah, but I think I could be prepared. Ween has, I can't even remember. I've blocked out so much stuff.
I don't even know what style of music Ween is, to be honest.
Dude, there's the one where it's talking about a rhinestone cowboy or something like that.
Where
Have all the rhinestone cowboys gone? That song?
Brady, if you go and get into Gizzard's like discography ever, check out "Infest the Rat's Nest," and that's this album that they put out. I don't know, maybe 17 albums back now. It's like 3
It
albums.
was 17 albums ago, yeah.
So
And it's like a better It's like if Metallica was good.
Whoa.
that's fair.
Saint Anger is my favorite album of all time. You better take that back.
I don't believe
Just
it.
kidding. Just kidding. That's my favorite snare sound ever. Saint
Lars'
Anger.
favorite record. Lars, you guys remember how much shit Lars's dad talks on him?
Lars's dad talks shit on him?
In the making of that thing, that movie.
Ooh.
Didn't we watch that?
Lars just has like nightmares about his
Some
dad
kind of monster.
disappointed. You know,
He says something about how it doesn't sound great, or the expectations aren't quite met.
Man, you can't, Jay Foster. You can't say fuck Metallica. Like you can't say that. I mean, you can say fuck Saint Anger or fuck Lars,
You
maybe.
guys remember Brett the Hitman Hart?
Oh,
No.
big time.
I was thinking about your name, Cohen, and that it got me to the Hitman earlier.
My parents actually named me
Hitman
after
Hartman.
Cohen, but I don't think you can name last names after people when it is your last name, unfortunately.
No. It doesn't quite get there. It just kind of it was a big leap jump for me, and then I thought on the drive like, oh, that's something we could talk about. Brett the Hitman Hart.
Wait, Jay Foster, do you not think the Black Album is good, Metallica?
Back to Metallica.
So this guy's freaking out in chat. He said fuck Metallica. We got to sort this out. He says the first 3 albums are great, which is true, but does that include the Black Album? Black Album is good, I feel like. The Black Album is the last good one.
Listen to metal.
Load and Reload, both pretty good.
I just wish that metal music and like Metallica didn't have generic sounding distortion. I think that's my problem. And Gizzard comes in and they make this record that is like a Metallica like tribute, but it doesn't. It's like they used all the good. And so it's just like a textural difference to me.
Yeah, I'm really particular about mixes and tones for metal. Like if it's a thin metal mix, I'm just like, what are we even doing here? What is this?
Well, I think back then, bands didn't think about it too much. They just cranked the gain on their amps and went with it. It was different times, of course.
Yeah. Anyway,
Just
we're
for
not
the record,
talking. Done with
Metallica's great.
Metallica, all right?
So
No more Metallica.
I'm not done with Metallica.
You're not done with it? Okay.
No, I just think Metallica's fun. I don't have any strong opinions.
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me that which I desire.
That's a good song.
It's great. Give me that which I desire. I mean, ooh.
Give me that which I desire.
Ooh. Yeah.
Ooh.
I think it's the bridge of that song is like kind of gives me a little feels.
The bridge to that one?
Oh yeah, ooh when I burn.
Ooh, and I burn. Something engine. Right?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
There was a time where I knew.
The back of the room where there's no mic.
There was a time where I knew how to play the intro on battery, and the whole time you had the mic, I was just like, can I remember? Can I draw it up? How long has it been? Probably 2 years? No, I shouldn't try that. I shouldn't try that. I only have a guitar.
Someone in the
First
chat
thing
asked,
I'm going to do when I get home.
someone in the
Myself to play
chat asked if you
battery.
were going to hear some pedals.
Yeah, let's.
Oh.
Let's
No.
some
We're not going to
music
hear
and-
pedals. We are only talking about Metallica. Okay? What? You coming onto the old bloodstream? You think you're going to hear guitar pedals? That's insane. Just kidding. Yeah, you guys should play something.
I was just thinking of now the riff from Fuel, and like, I know it must be easy, but I wonder what.
It's so easy.
Is this something like?
Hold on. I'll get it. Hold on. I gotta turn my Marshall on. Wait. We gotta go down. It's like some shit like that, right? It's something like that.
Yeah.
You gotta scoop the mids though.
Cranked, or what's your?
That's the Marshall on the Iridium. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I scooped all the mids because that's what you're supposed to do.
Ice cream.
Yeah. I forget.
Sounds pretty great, actually. I haven't
what
had
is it?
The Iridium faking.
I literally have the drive
That's awesome.
all the way up. actually sounds pretty good.
I'm into it. Did people want to hear anything particular, or they just wanted to hear us noodle around?
I think we play for a bit and then play it out.
That's what it is.
What was that, Seth?
I think we play for a bit and then we play it out.
Yeah.
That's good.
Next 5 minutes or so.
Nice.
Good hanging with you guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining us.
Good to meet you, Cohen.
Yeah.
Everyone should follow what Cohen should plug right now. The places to follow.
Yes.
Yeah, you can look me up. A spiral caster, plays pedals, and talked a little bit about what I do earlier. I just did a visitor demo actually. I just dropped that like last Sunday.
It's a good one. Yeah. I feel like I watched that this morning, just kind of getting prepped, and I feel like it's a really great example of what you do in terms of you can just hear so many very different sounds from one pedal within the span of that 4 minutes, and hear them all like in context, and just to have a good sense of I'm enjoying this song, I'm enjoying these sounds, and I can understand what the pedal is doing. I think you do a good job of bridging that gap of the 30-minute tech demo and the I can't tell what this pedal is doing because it's in such a confused context. So just to compliment you real quick, everyone should go check out that visitor demo.
Thank you, Dan. That's what I try
I'm
to do.
spamming your Instagram in the chat too. Yeah, there it is.
Appreciate it. Nice. All right, we're gonna make some music, make some noise.
I think so. Andy, we're gonna stick with the F sharp.
No, you can change it. We don't. No, that's boring as hell. Do something different. Someone pick a key.
Let's do. I'm just trying to remember. I think this is in E flat right now.
E flat.
But we can do. Let's just
I don't know
do
how to
like
play
E major.
I'm gonna get all dirty with this.
Just realized I'm using my Hetfield white fan. Metallic.
Oh, that sounds cool.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks for hanging out. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Cohen.
Yeah, thanks, Cohen. It was good to meet you.
Likewise, guys. Thanks for having me on. This was really, really cool.
We'll see everybody next Friday for Loop Talk. Live performance from Sarah Reed.
I don't think I'll have any apologies to make next week.
I don't think so.
Hopefully.
This was a good stream.
Huh.
Apology free zone. I don't know.